I remember when I first got into social work, I had my first year in my MSW program. I was super excited. I was all into my schoolwork and my internship. I was putting like 150% into everything I was doing. I just felt like I was gonna save the world and I was just gonna make everything right with everybody and it was just gonna be fucking perfect, right? When I tell you that shit didn't last long. I would say around like January of this year, so a few months before graduation, I started to feel this sense of like dread and ambivalence towards social work that I had never felt before. And it was like I was questioning whether I wanted to continue with social work. Did I even know what the hell I was doing? The feelings that I had when I first started were drastically reduced. It was sort of like, ooh, we went from up here to like, bitch, get off your high horse. You ain't making that big of a difference, okay? And I could never explain what was going on. I remember talking to my therapist, like, yeah, it's kind of like, I'm just like, with anything related to social work. And I was noticing I was getting burnt out a lot more. And she was like, that sounds similar to a phenomenon that happens with a lot of psychology students too, where you get to this point where it's like you start to question everything and then you just wonder if this is really what you want to do. Tend not to find satisfaction with your work, tend to just be on autopilot. And I was like, yeah. And she was like, that's normal, that's gonna pass, you know, as soon as you get done with school and all this other hectic life stressors, you'll be fine. Okay, fast forward, graduation comes, I'm doing my internship. When I tell y'all, I was only happy to be graduating like the day before graduation, the day of graduation, and maybe the day after. And then that shit just quickly dissipated. It was like, so what? I graduated. Now what? And I just couldn't figure out what the hell was going on. And so, like I told y'all in previous videos, my plan was to take a break after graduating before looking for a job, just to kind of get my mental together. And because I've been working hard as shit for the past 2 years, so I was like, I owe it to myself to take like a break before I rush back into working full time. And so during that time, it was just like I was still having these feelings. And of course, after that, when I started applying the job and I'm not hearing back, or when I am hearing back, I'm being denied and they're like, you don't have enough experience. And I'm like, bitch, I just graduated. Like, what do you expect? What experience do you want me to have? I just went through 2 years of internships. Like, that's not enough. And I came across this TikTok.
I was not expecting the excitement of being a doctor to wear off so quickly. I knew it was gonna become routine eventually, but 2 weeks? 2 weeks? Damn. When I first showed up to the hospital, I was ambivalent and I was questioning if it was the right choice and acknowledging this is really the rest of my life, but I still had that feeling, that excitement, you know, I'm a doctor and I've worked my whole life up to this point. But those magical 2 letters after my name have now been used to rubber stamp an infinite amount of orders and check off boxes and click tabs and do everything that I'm destined to do. And don't get me wrong, I still like psychiatry and I find value in what I do. I just didn't think the butterflies were gonna die so fast. Wanna go outside? Sit on the porch. Reminds me of this speech I was given by this high school valedictorian. He said, I worked my whole life for this point and it felt really, really good for about 15 seconds. Now, I always think about that whenever I have this big accomplishment I work towards. I'm like, what's gonna happen on second number 16? I don't know. What's that? And maybe I already hit second 16. I don't know. I don't have any grand wisdom on this. I just have this loss of a feeling and I'm trying to examine it. So I'll figure it out. And maybe it's just that this is going to become a part of my life and that's okay. Every day is not going to be exciting.
yeah, like that excitement and joy that I felt when I first entered the field is not the same anymore. And after seeing that video, I was like, okay, so I'm not tripping. Like, I'm okay. This is normal. And it's just like, I wish I knew that ahead of time, because I went into social work with rose-colored glasses on. And there was nobody to tell me, like, bitch, in a couple months, you're not gonna feel the same way. And that's okay, that's normal. That means you're getting into the field and you're actually practicing what you've been learning, and your expectations are not lower, but your mind is trying to grapple with the expectations versus the reality, right? And so I still have a positive outlook on social work. I really do. I know not to make that like my life, because at first I was so proud of that social worker title, and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be a social worker. Now it's like, okay, that's my profession, that's my job, but you know, that's not who I am, which I should have known. Leaving the military, I had to deal with the same shit. Like, yes, I was an airman, but that's not who I am. That's my damn job. So yeah, it just coming down from that high. But yeah, I wish somebody would have told me that shit